The people making Joker 2 knew it was the worst movie ever when they were making it. Is it? I don't know. Let's hear what the people who actually were in the thing say about it. I still have not watched it. Have you watched it? I've been told to skip it, not waste my time. Losing to the chemo stuff. I have links in the description if you'd like to help contribute and support this channel. I am Mecca, your favorite YouTube harpy. Still, you know that. And we got to talk a little bit about the second Joker movie that apparently they didn't even like when they were making it. Here we go. Comedian Tim Dillon starred in Joker 2 as an Arkham security guard and says it's the worst film ever made. It's not even hate watchable. That's how terrible it is. He goes on to say, according to Variety here, I have reasons for all of this. I have a reason why they're making these movies bad on purpose. Guess what kind of video this is?
When real conspiracies become far too outlandish, that's when parody conspiracies look even more like reality. It's time to strap on your headgear and search through the aluminum archives.
Hey, back when I had hair and a voiceover guy and a boyfriend and a life. And anyway, I'm doing really good, actually, all things considered. You guys are really helping out. I really, really appreciate that. We gotta make fun of this, and we gotta turn it into a maybe why. So we're gonna put on our fake conspiracy hat, and instead of my anti-Smurf chemo scarf here. What does he say about this? What does comedian Tim Dillon have to say? Now, I'm not gonna comment. I don't know if his comedy's funny or not, or if the movie's any good or not. But he thinks it's bad. It has no plot. He says we would sit there. Me and these other guys were all dressed in these security guard outfits because we're working at the Arkham Asylum. And I would turn to one of them and we'd hear this crap and go, what the F is this? And they go, this is gonna bomb, man. I go, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. We're talking about it at lunch and we go, what's the plot? Is there a plot? I don't know. I think he falls in love with her in the prison. It's not even hate watchable. That's how terrible it is. What was the final box office? 58 million. Domestically 204 worldwide. A far cry from the original 1 billion. Okay. Have you ever noticed how a lot of these movies lately, like all these ones, and they already know these movies are gonna flop because why? We've already rejected the woke Hollywood nonsense in masses. Movie after movie after movie has been flopping and just terrible. That has a lot of weird things in it that don't have anything to do with the plot. Like they'll stop in the middle and lecture you about pronouns or something. Like we care. I think we care. So what happens? What happens? I think they're making these movies bad on purpose. I think these movies are being made bad on purpose because why? Just like our recent presidential election that I'm not going to comment on one way or another. However, I think that is a reflection of society in general with this woke nonsense. And I think that Hollywood was a test run. I think cramming everybody from Dr. Lady Wham and Who, Dr. Karen, little Mary Ray Sue Palpatine, the Acolyte people, all these people down our throats for all this time. I think Hollywood got onto that a long time ago. These movies were going to bomb on purpose. And they're bombing them on purpose. They're coming and going through YouTube and the trolls and stuff to see what's the worst possible movie they can make. Like 3 Lady Wham and Captain Marvel persons in a planet of interpretive dance, musical theater, Agatha musical theater, all of this stuff. These male properties are all getting destroyed on purpose, knowing they don't make money. Why? Because of one thing or two things. Well, what do we know about first off? Parrot analytics, where they go in and look at how many people tweet about something, and that's easily fakeable. They're just botting it at this point, and a lot of people are just taking that and making videos on whatever the bots are saying. I do that. Not you, but some of y'all do that, and you're gonna take what I say and say it on your channel, so at least my right message is getting out there to people. Gamblers are making money, big money off your movie, and it's 100% legal. Don't you think the people making these movies aren't doing that as well? They're just making money off of these, knowing that they're going to make more money off of a bad movie because they're still going to get what? They're still going to get paid regardless. New online traders bet on release dates, Rotten Tomato scores, and box office. Will studios gamify their own business as part of a $1 trillion market? I think they have been this whole time. The same thing like they've been using the chat GPTs. I think they've been doing this the entire time. This came out on September 9th. This came out if I hadn't been watching so much Politics Ball, and the guy who goes around and goes, Civil War, Civil War, Civil War, Civil War, I wouldn't have noticed this. I wouldn't have seen this. This is interesting. For most people, May's IF presented a simple choice. What's IF? Do I want to take my family to see the John Krasinski helm movie starring Ryan Reynolds or not? But for Jonathan Zubkoff, a former pharmaceutical industry veteran who lives in New York suburbs, the movie presented a more intriguing question. Can I make money off of this? Because you don't have the talent, personality, or any connections to get on the internet and yell at a camera about it, what do? You throw money at it. He went to a site devoted to prediction markets where he bet the IF's Rotten Tomatoes. Ooh, here's a new site to look at. Here's their scores. Yeah, you can see, you could bet on politics stuff. Ooh, look at this. This is interesting. The plot thickens. So pretend this is movies. Grammy for Song of the Year, Senate race, Trump stuff. What's our next movie coming out? Is there a movie coming out we can search up? Oh, crap. I forgot to look up a movie. What's the new one that's coming out? But you can see, this is the likelihood, apparently. Is this just what people are betting on? This might just be how many people bet on it. I'm not a gambler. I'm not condoning that. Or would I probably even use these things? I'm too afraid to lose money at this point. When you come in and you can go and look at these places, like, what is it, Poly Market, which I did not pull up, for example, and I should have. You can bet on anything you want on some of these, and I don't condone that, and I'm not telling you to. Market. There's your prediction thing. But there are these gambling sites. Here's how they do it. New online traders. So you go in, it's another one of these. Cashy, Poly Market, all of those. They're just telling you what the likelihood of these are. So they're trying to game the system. They're trying to game it. God, I can't read these. If I thought it just looked off, it didn't make sense. The trailer didn't look good, and then for initial reactions coming out, it premiered in France or something like that. There are all of these things. Look at that. Specifically, if you wanted to bet against the prevailing wisdom that the movie would be liked enough by critics to earn a Rotten Tomatoes score or higher, they're just making money off of it. Week before IF's release, the highest probability based on the market activity on the film would score, or that the film would score as high as 80, which would have sunk most of Zubkoff's bets. On the Monday after IF opened, or is it If? Is this called If? Is this a movie called If? Why am I reading this wrong? I don't even know what movie he's talking about. But this is what I think is happening with all of these other movies, like Joker. They're going in and, in my opinion, making money off the back end, making sure that they flop. Because why? They were getting a little bit of a percentage off the box office, and then the box office became unpredictable in 2020 when everybody was at home ordering DoorDash and watching the movie the same day on streaming, like Wonder Woman and, Black Widow. So much to the point where a lot of these Hollywood stars had to go in and sue their studios because the box office was lower than they assumed. So now what is a way to actually accurately predict some of this? Well, they can always, I wouldn't suggest it, they can always be making money off of how bad the movie's going to flop based on what we're saying about it. Is it likely? What's the next movie? Movies. Are there any movies? Third Mamma Mia movie announced. Here we go. You could bet if the Coyote versus Acme will have a public release announced before 2026. The Wicked Rotten Tomato, that's the one I keep forgetting about. Wicked, the musical theater stuff, because we're back to musical theater again. Didn't I just say that? Yes, I did. You can look at this. 280. They're trading basically stock in whether or not these movies are going to do well or not. And this, I think, is why all these movies are bad, because the worse the movie looks, the more of a sure thing bet it is. Of course, like I guess when you're betting on sports or something, I would assume the greater the likelihood, the lower return of investment is. So if I were to bet that my team would win, like my Knights would win, and they had a huge winning streak and they had a huge advantage and the other team was awful, I would not make that much money on the bet. I probably would just make what I betted. I don't know how this one works. This seems more like the stock market to me. What do you think? Tell me in the comment section below. Do you think this is how they are taking advantage of us and making a lot of money on these movies being terrible on purpose? I think they're terrible on purpose. What do you think? I am Mecca. Please subscribe to this channel. I will see you on the next video, live stream, or wherever. And,
Drop the taco. Get in the car.
oh no, we're not dropping any more tacos. You drop your own taco and you can donate to my channel, lady.